Bright Memory Infinite coming to both PC and the Xbox Series X is the answer to a question that none of us ever thought to ask ourselves. What would happen if one developer took it upon themselves to find the absolute perfect balance between an amazing FPS experience, a la Crysis or Bulletstorm, and the powerful sword fighting of Shadow Warrior? The result, it turns out, is extremely impressive, a first-person shooter that looks truly AAA in scope, but resoundingly independent in scale. When seeing this game, I think every single one of us thought it was made by a massive team of professional developers that worked all over the industry, but it is not. Bright Memory is one of those amazing success stories from the industry with plenty of lessons to take away about sheer will and commitment. In addition of having a visual appeal with an equally impressive sense of style, the whole game was made by a one-man army and also benefiting from a few collaborations here and there, but nothing that truly helps the creator on the development side. The epic first-person shooter featuring agents investigating supernatural phenomena in the year 2036 was the first game Microsoft chose to show at its much-awaited Xbox Series X event not too long ago. A 40-minute demo of the game, first released last year, currently has a positive rating in 90% of the more than 3,000 reviews on the International Game Store Steam, with gamers raving about the amazing graphics and fast-paced gameplay. Some of you might have seen my video on it, as it is one of my most popular on the channel. This video was for Bright Memory, not Bright Memory Infinite. Bright Memory in a sense is a demo, a concept work where the creator tested out some aspects of gameplay that he would like to have in Bright Memory Infinite, which will be a more polished product. Infinite will contain much more cinematic narration for players to have a deeper understanding of what is going on in the story, also the characters' motives and etc. The question is, how can one man create all of this alone? Well, in today's video I am back talking about this project, as we've just had a new gameplay trailer as well as new information, so let's get right into it. For the first time, we get to see some new locations in this new trailer, showcasing Shilia, the main character, in her apartment in the city before getting into action. The game looks incredibly realistic in every visual aspect, already turning it into one of the best looking next-gen titles we have seen for now. At its core, Bright Memory Infinite is an all-new lightning-fast fusion of the FPS and action genres. It is set in a sprawling, futuristic metropolis in the year 2036. Playing as Shilia, your mission in Bright Memory Infinite is to stop a military organization from acquiring the key for a legendary superpower that allows its owner to revive the dead. You will get access to lots of various range and melee weapons to take down the enemies on your journey to stop this organization, and also meet a lot of different soldiers and monsters that will try to stop you no matter the cost. When it comes to plotting, Bright Memory Infinite sounds like a series of high-concept science fiction concepts stuffed into one package, and is set in 2036 again. With that as the backdrop, you'll quickly find yourself whipping through all matters of ridiculous situations, from navigating a spaceship that can travel through time, to exploring wormholes appearing on Earth, and of course battling ancient samurai that have been displaced from the past and pushed into the present. If it all sounds a little wild, well, that's because it is, although the story isn't the only area of the game that has been given a generous overhaul. There have been some major upgrades and changes between the Bright Memory demo and Bright Memory Infinite, the creator tells. Bright Memory Infinite features newly overhauled environments and scenarios, as well as newly implemented improvements and optimizations in regards to level design, sound effects, music, character imagery, and more. He wanted to provide players with the best gaming experience possible, made by one person. What should be of more interest here is the creator's decision to focus on retooling the level design. The first Bright Memory was largely linear. Its action effectively contained two small areas. For Bright Memory Infinite, he is pushing for a huge expansion of the combat spaces. Level design is no longer just simple linear terrain. The topography has much more variation and texture. In addition, the player is also able to climb over walls and such with a traction rope. He also redesigned all of the monsters as ancient warriors of China. Later in the game, you'll see a slew of more interesting enemies too. He really wanted to share some of the cooler parts of traditional Chinese culture with players all around the world, as he too is Chinese. The combat is all key, because it's the combat that really shines in Bright Memory Infinite. The core cycle sees you frantically attempting to chain combos together as horde of powerful enemies swarm your position. The gameplay of Bright Memory Infinite is the sort of FPS action type game that you can run through at high speed and pull off flashy combos and stuff, says the creators, just like Doom or Shadow Warrior. It features more and more hardcore enemies as you progress to the later stages. Players can use a sword to destroy enemy armor and then use guns to do real damage and take them down. Different skills must be used against different enemies for the best results. Now, the true appeal of this upcoming game will be in seeing how this one-man studio has been able to iterate upon its original ideas. The most recent look at the game with the new gameplay trailer would suggest that is on the right track, furthering the high-intensity action and score-chasing systems that is at the heart of the experience. Of all the criticism that could be said at the first Bright Memory, the biggest would be on performance. While it clearly looked like a game with pretty good resources and a great team of voice actors behind it, it could suffer from occasional glitches and lurches. Games like this where it's just one person can die in a second if the frame rates aren't good enough. Bright Memory Infinite development started officially, it started a bit before, but officially in December of 2019. He goes on to say to expect the game to be under 20 hours long, which if he says 20 hours, it probably means it is a bit close to it, and for a one-man project, I'm 100% cool with that. Bright Memory Infinite is set to be completed in December of this year, but the release date is not fixed yet, because it has to be decided separately according to the market situation. It was also revealed that Bright Memory Infinite will include support for a new smart delivery system, allowing players to purchase the game once and own their future Xbox consoles. Unfortunately, given that Bright Memory Infinite will be released to the Xbox Series X, its release date was not revealed during the Inside Xbox livestream. However, the game is expected to launch shortly after the release of the next generation Xbox console, but it's also on PC. Alright guys, if you'd like more gaming news on this type of game, drop a like on this video and subscribe to stay tuned. Thanks to Themistocles, Pedro Oliveira and Jigglyboy for being a master member on the channel. You can become a Survivor member for 99 cents only. It'll support me and the channel as a whole. Thanks for watching.